If you've stayed with this series until now, you're probably in a very specific place. You're not in crisis anymore, you're not spiraling, you're not chasing or begging or replaying every moment, but you're also not fully back yet. And people don't know what to do with this phase, because it doesn't look dramatic. It looks like quiet mornings, fewer emotional spikes, less urgency, more space, and instead of relief, many people feel uneasy. They ask, so what now? Is this it? Why don't I feel excited? Let me tell you something important. Healing doesn't end with happiness. It ends with orientation. For a long time, life was organized around something external, around a person, around anticipation, around reaction, around waiting, around hoping. Even the pain had structure. And now that structure is gone, so your system is learning something entirely new. How to organize life around yourself. That's why this phase feels strange. You're not empty, you're unattached. And unattached feels unfamiliar if you've lived in emotional entanglement for a long time. This is the part where people make another mistake. They rush to replace what they lost. Another relationship, another obsession, another distraction, another emotional anchor. Not because they're ready, but because they don't like the openness. But the openness is the point. This is where you begin to feel your own rhythm again, your own preferences, your own tolerance, your own limits, your own desires, not filtered through someone else. That's not loneliness. That's reclaiming yourself. Here's a reframe that changes everything. You're not alone right now. You're with yourself. And for many people, that's a new experience. This is also the phase where people realize something quietly powerful. They don't want chaos anymore. They don't want intensity for intensity's sake. They don't want to feel constantly activated. They want steadiness, reciprocity, ease, honesty, emotional availability. And once you know that, you can't unknow it. This is where standards solidify, not as rules, but as felt truth. You don't need to announce them. You don't need to defend them. You don't need to explain them. You just notice this feels right, this feels off, and you trust yourself. If this series has helped you get here, pause for a moment, like this video, subscribe, share it with someone who's quietly rebuilding, because this phase doesn't get applause, but it deserves respect. Now let me say something very clearly before we end this. Healing doesn't mean you stop remembering. It doesn't mean the past disappears. It doesn't mean you never feel a wave again. It means the past no longer organizes your present. Memories become information, not instructions. You stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, how do I want to live now? That's the shift. When you orient toward your own life, your work, your values, your relationships, your body, your time, something else happens naturally. Connection returns, not urgently, not desperately, not from lack, but from alignment. And that kind of connection doesn't feel confusing. It doesn't feel like guessing. It doesn't require chasing. It feels mutual. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. This phase unfolds gradually, quietly, without fireworks. That doesn't make it less real. It makes it stable. If you're moving through this and want support that's grounded and personal, you can book a one-on-one session with me through the link in my bio. And if you need to talk now, voice, video, or chat, you can reach me on Pop Call. You don't need to rush forward. You don't need to go back. You don't need to force anything. You're not after heartbreak because it's gone. You're after heartbreak because you've reoriented. And that's where real life begins.